Now, let me ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm one of your hosts, the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, man. And next to me, man, the other half of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast is my brother, man, the home of the congregation and the Brown Crackers, man. You already know what it is. Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. 2-for-1 Nation podcast. Two brothers for one nation. And y'all know it's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody out there, especially the congregation.
Yep, and we back, man. We back to talk about all things Raiders, man. Of course, before we get into the recap of the game on Black Friday and the way it ended and all those different things, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody, man. Like I said, hopefully everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving. Spent it with their loved ones and stuff like that. Ate good, because I know I ate good. I know for a damn fact I ate good. So shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Robert Penna was good. Salute. Gord Peterson was good. Javier was good. Salute. Good to see you guys, man. Hope all as well. Shout out to SoCal Sal and everybody coming on in. I appreciate you guys for coming on in, man. But hey, Twuan, how was your Thanksgiving, man? How was everything the whole week last week?
It was good. You know what I'm saying? I got a little food, you know what I'm saying? Got a little family. And that's what it's all about for me, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. There's games on the TV and stuff like that, but just being around the family with everybody together is always good, because we're all busy. We all got different schedules, but it's just great to see all the family at one time. So yeah, that's what does it for me on Thanksgiving.
Yep, man. That's what it's all about. And like I said, hopefully everybody had a really good one too. Ate good and everything with their loved ones and stuff like that. And, you know, if you went to go shopping and hopefully you got what you wanted, you know, you feel me, to give to the kids or whatever, you feel me? Because I know a lot of people do Christmas shopping ahead of time. But shout out to everybody, man. Of course, you know, there was a little bit of a plus, which was a game that we all watched on Black Friday, the day after, which might as well just get straight into it. Or Raiders and Chiefs, divisional matchup, second game of the season. Of course, a game that once again we could all say we should have won. And you know, hey man, talk to me about this game, Twuan. How did you feel about it? You feel? Just give me every single thought, man.
Yeah, man. I said it last week. You know, I was expecting a loss, which again, it eventually came to a loss. But, you know, I also added that I was hopeful that we didn't get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? You know, didn't get blown out. We didn't get no ring around the rosy. You know what I'm saying? None of that happened, you know, and again, our boys came out there despite the loss. Our boys went out there and they played a good game. I'm pretty much, you know, of course there's always little things you can nitpick on every player, you know what I'm saying, as to why we possibly lost that game. We can, you can talk about Daniel Carson's kicks. You can talk about, maybe not, some of the pass catchers not catching the ball. Saying maybe AOC. Maybe you feel like AOC didn't, instead of throwing the ball out, out of bounds, he took the sack, so there's little things here and there that you can nitpick, but overall, I think our team played a great game. Our defense was doing its thing. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you can keep the Chiefs under 20 points is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, our offense seems like it's actually an offense, despite, some guys that I know that everybody's talking about, hey, we got to replace. But I think, again, I was very proud of our guys going against the Chiefs. Again, we didn't get embarrassed. And, I think even with the loss, I think it speaks well about where we are as a team, even though we know, deep down inside where we're lacking. It was a strong performance in my opinion.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with you with that strong performance comment. When you look at the game overall, I enjoyed what I seen because I seen improvement. Now, I know that the score line is not what everybody wanted, right? I've been seeing a lot of, contradicting things between Aidan O'Connell being the quarterback next year. Now that's a topic, and the offense improving under Scott Turner. When you really look at it and you look at the stats and you look at everything on paper and you even look on the field, yeah, we're still doing the same thing where we don't score a lot of points, but at the end of the day, everything else in the offense is improving. Everything from the passing category to the running category. I mean, come on. Another week where our rushing does pretty damn good, pretty decently. And then on top of that, you have Aidan O'Connell that, I mean, was pretty efficient, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, come on, what better do you need from him? Especially for what he got. And Brock Bowers, man, do I even have to say anything about this guy? I mean, I feel like every week it's the same old thing with him, man, and it's a good thing. And some may say that he doesn't even got his quarterback yet. A lot of people say that. And imagine when he does, when he has somebody consistently on a week 1 to week 18 basis, plays really good at that quarterback position, this guy is going to be even better than what he is. And he's arguably the best tight end right now.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, in regards to the offense. I talked a little bit about it, going into the game, was what kind of AOC were we going to see? And I'm saying, especially, him coming off of an injury, I'm saying, he probably was still dealing with that injury during that game. But along with that, I also was kind of optimistic when last week in regards to AOC, because again, Scott Turner is the guy that's calling the plays, what I'm saying? And I said, there might be a possibility that our offense looks a little even more better, what I'm saying, with Scott Turner. And, some of the things that, said earlier last week, it made sense. Like, we're actually seeing deep passes to Trey Tucker. We're seeing, DJ Turner, and, I'm sorry about DJ Turner, and his injury, but, now you're seeing the ball, getting hit short, immediate and deep, what I'm saying? And that's the kind of quarterback that we have with AOC. The downfall is just that offensive line better keep him, has to keep him clean. And if we can keep him clean, he's able to pick off defenses and pick them apart if he has the time. I'm saying? He's pretty quick on his release too. So that's a benefit to us. But that's really dependent on that offensive line. But that offense is now starting to look, like I said, even better with AOC, and that was him coming off an injury his first week. Let's see what he does in his second week.
100%. Let me shout out who's coming in. Raider Knight was good. Good to see you, man. Gore Peters. I don't know if I salute you, but salute. Good to see everybody coming on in, man. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and you feel me. We just talking about the game right now. That happened on Black Friday. But if we could have just made one of those 3 field goals, we would have won 100%, man. The offense has improved considerably. Yeah. Question for you guys. Which quarterback would you guys want to draft and why? For me, I'm kind of just gonna go on quick little thoughts on that. For me, I think for me, just depending on the position we are, but as of right now, I think we're number two. Just because the association and thinking of it from a standpoint of the Raiders, Shador Sanders. But if you're asking me specifically, what I would go with is Cam Ward, and that's just because I think Cam Ward is the better quarterback. But like I said, I never discredit Shador Sanders. For me, they're 1 and 2 in the next year's draft, and I like both of them. So,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? What
yeah.
What do you think? Who would you feel
No,
me? Quick thoughts on that.
I'm with you. You know,
Mhm.
we talked about it. I think we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. You know, we were different, but we came together. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, and said, you know, I like you said, you like Cam Ward and I like
yeah.
Shador,
Mhm.
and you know, but we were like, hey, if we get either one of those
Either one of
guys,
'em. Yeah,
we're good. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, Eric, I'm not gonna lie. You said something I think like 2 weeks ago. You're like,
mhm.
hey, you know, what if we got Ashton Genty, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
first round, and then came back in the second round and got, you know what I'm saying, a yours, or you know what I'm saying, a Jackson Dart, or you know what I'm saying, one of those guys. And you know, I'm not saying that's solely where I would like to go, but
Mhm.
I would be not mad if we decided to go that route. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if you did get someone like a Genty, we got question marks at running back. So to have to check that off and don't have to
Mhm.
worry about that, and then possibly have Sincere, you know what I'm saying, backing him up, and you know what I'm saying, kind of letting the people that are starting now be the backups, that just makes our running game, you know what I'm saying, our running back room even better. So and again, with all the hype, you know, that's going on with Genty as being one of the generational players coming out of this draft, I I wouldn't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like no matter what, you know, like I said, we would have to address quarterback at some point, and we probably will talk about
facts.
it a little later.
And I see the whole talk of the town with Aidan O'Connell, him doing really good. I seen half again, you feel me, half the Raider Nation saying we got our future there, that we should just give him a chance, and he hasn't had a full season. And then I seen another half that it's calling the other half idiots, and saying we need to draft a quarterback and stuff like this. I said this before. The best case scenario is Aidan O'Connell to end up being something better than a lot of people projected. That's the best case scenario, because in that point you're not forced to. This is how I think about it, right? As of this position where we're number 2 in the draft right now, this is the best case scenario in my mindset that could happen, and that I hope happens, because it will make us a really good football team next year. And it's Aidan O'Connell ends up being Aidan O'Connell and ends up being really good. Tom Brady helps him out over the offseason. He becomes a better quarterback. And in the offseason next year, we get a really good offensive line to help Jackson Powers. And Jackson Powers Johnson, at the end of the day, was really good, besides that last miscommunication between him and the guard. And say what you want to say, and I know he put it on himself, but it was bound to happen, a rookie mistake like that, where it was a
Mm,
miscommunication between the guard and the rookie center, right? But
agree.
when you look at Aidan O'Connell, you look at a guy that has the potential, that I've been saying has potential. Now, has he reached that? Hell no. Not even a slither of it yet. But he's shown glimpses of it. I mean, I said not even a slither, but yeah, a little bit of a slither that we've seen. But the best case scenario in my brain is, let's just say Aidan O'Connell pans out. Aidan O'Connell pans out. In the offseason, he gets a full offseason again. Under somebody like Scott Turner, the offense gets better as the week progresses even more. We fix our red zone efficiency, because the only problem with their offense right now is the red zone. I've looked at everything from statistics to even film. It literally shows me that we declined in the red zone since the first few weeks when we had Luke Getzey. But we've improved in every other category: running category, passing category, yards per game, yards per throw, yards per rush. We've improved on everything except for the red zone. So that's something that they need to fix. And hopefully, as time progresses throughout these weeks, I see that progression, because then that's another question that we could get answered. We got our offensive coordinator enter next year, right? Hopefully that pans out. But best case scenario, Aidan O'Connell pans out. We go full force in the free agent market, get a really good guard, really good offensive tackles that could help this offensive line. We got our center of the future. We got Glaze that could be a potential really good tackle eventually. And let's just say we go after a running back, right? Let's go Ashton Genty or Travis Hunter, right? You get your future receiver or future running back for a very long time, generational talent, in my opinion. And then in the free agency market, you feel me, get a defense help with the defensive depth. You bring back Malcolm Kuntz. Hopefully he becomes healthy, and then I mean from there you go get a cornerback in the free agency market. In the draft, you get your offensive line situated a little bit with the young side of it, and you get your running back of the future, the receiver in future, and you continue down that line, and then you got yourself a team next year. Now the other route that I'm seeing a lot of people is obviously you draft a quarterback. You go full force offensive line in free agency, get a cornerback. You bring back the defensive line. And hey, you just bring in a receiver or two, and you got yourself a team there too. So either way is better. But I just hope that the best case scenario happens, just because it will save us a lot. I mean, there could even be a potential that a team tries to move up for a quarterback in our spot, and we get another first round plus a second plus a like. I'm just saying, like, that would be the best case scenario. But at the end of the day, man, I like in the position we're in right now, entering next year. And like I said, all I want to see in these next few weeks is improvement, and I've been seeing that exactly. The stats talk for itself, the film talks for itself, the offense is getting better. They just need to fix up that red zone efficiency, and they would be fine. But yeah, man.
I think we're in a good. I say this almost every year, but I really do feel like we're in a good spot when in regards to, I think no matter what, we're gonna have to draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And because no matter what, we have to draft a quarterback. That's gonna, eventually what you would like to do is kick Minshew out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to have Minshew here just because, we ain't got enough quarterbacks to fill out our quarterback room. Like, we need to have enough quarterbacks to say, hey, you can go, and Aidan's still under cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? And you guys know that's one of my words. So, I'm with Aidan being, if we did go that route where Aidan becomes our starter, you know what I'm saying? That would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we keep the same offensive coordinator, which he's building a relationship with now, with Scott Turner and Norv Turner. Like, I think we'll be good. If you start beefing up everything else and then, possibly revisit that, or like the other route, you draft that quarterback and, now you got AOC, and I'm not having a heart attack when he gets on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because I think like we're seeing now, AOC can win some games. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he's winning games right now, but you're seeing the makings of an offense that's actually looking like an offense. And that was our issue earlier in the season, where it was like, dude, we don't even know. Like, of course, we would love our running game to be a little bit better and improve there, but our offense is looking like an offense, and it's under Aidan O'Connell. And then, like, when with the draft, I think we're another good situation. I know a lot of people are talking about our D line. I think if we brought our D line back healthy, the reason why we're not looking good on our D line is because our D line in totality, our starters ain't they ain't healthy. Kuntz is gone. Wilkins is gone. You know what I'm saying? I can keep going down the list. So there's an opportunity in the later rounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw that in the draft. We were talking about certain rooms that are deeper. You can go in the later rounds and pretty much put this D line on steroids. You know what I'm saying? If you get another good, another edge rusher and another D tackle, in the 6th and 7th round, you would be in a really good situation when you start bringing some of these healthy, now healthy pieces back. You know what I'm saying? If we re-sign Kuntz, obviously Wilkins is still under contract, and Max is going to be Max. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're in a good place, because the things that we actually do need, you can get some of that stuff in the later rounds. It's just going to be up to Telesco on how he does his thing in regards to moving around in the draft if he feels like he needs to.
Yeah, and even with the banged up defensive line, I have to give it to them. 5 sacks, I believe 5 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. Not only that, Clavion Chason with his career high. in 8 quarterback pressures in 19 pass rushes, man. So, hey, this defensive line played out of their mind against the Chiefs. Also, Zach Carter had him one. Adam Butler had half of one. Max Crosby had one. Shout out to them, man. And as a total, man, the Raiders had 18 pressures, which was their second most in the game this season, man. So congrats to the defensive line. They played a really good heck of a game. I wish we could see that since the start, but obviously, hopefully, this is a good little positive aspect of progression, right? Um, and then moving on here, SC, how many games do you think we are winning with Aidan and kick us in the top pick? I think we have 5 games left. I would say we win 2 to 3 of those. I mean, if we get better, like it's been getting, if it consistently gets better, then yeah. But if they start shitting the bed, then we're not winning any of those games. But I believe 3 to 5 games. I mean, 2 to 3 games. My bad, not 3 to 5. 2 to 3 games in 5.
I'm
But
a
yeah.
little lower on that. I say
Mhm.
1 or 2,
Okay,
but
okay.
close.
I don't like any of the quarterbacks they draft. If we do pick one, I hope they send him so he could learn while AOC plays quarterback 1A, man. So you like the AOC route, man. That would be the best case scenario, like I said, if he pans out. For
And
sure.
that's the benefit of having someone like an Aiden O'Connell. A lot of again, we talk about it all the time in regards to some of these other teams in the NFL. A lot of their success is because they let that, whether it was saying a high pick or not, they let that quarterback sit for saying at least 10 games, what I'm saying, before we saw him, saying under center at so if we could copy that route, have AOC kind of serve as that bridge like we kind of should have did with Derek Carr, you know what I'm saying? that was my downfall with the organization then. But if we do that with AOC and allow, even with Shador, you know what I'm saying, or a Cam Ward, let those guys sit and learn what the NFL is about, because the college is nice, but it ain't the NFL. So if you can, hey, let me show you how to do this. Let me teach you how to do this, and then say, hey, I think you're ready. Go ahead and do your thing. And then again, now you got a Shador Sanders or a Cam Ward that's ready to go, because he's sat and knows what's going on. AOC is not only just being a starter, but he's also like, hey, watch this, or watch, take a look at this, watch that safety over there, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that AOC can now be a teacher. And I think that's what AOC is also a benefit to AOC, is that he's smart up here, you know what I'm saying? He may not have the total physical abilities, but he's smart up here. So if he can spit some game to that new rookie quarterback, and then let AOC now be our backup, again, we are good. And again, I'm not having a heart attack when whoever the quarterback comes in.
And just to make things clear, you feel me? We're not saying he already is, right? We're saying that it has the potential to do so, because I know I'll probably speak for both of us that we have to see on a consistent basis from here to the end of the season. And it looks like AOC for sure is the number one quarterback this whole next 5 games, because of the injury to Minshew, and obviously Ritter not being ready at all. So for us is we're hoping, right? Because it would be best case scenario. Now, will it happen? Yeah, 50-50, man. He could shit the bed the next game, or he could play really damn good. And it's only time will tell. I mean, he's playing a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team next that I think is still fighting for a spot, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look that one up. Yeah, they're even right now at 6-6, and I believe the Saints are at the bottom. So yeah, they're fighting for a spot technically. So there's that. But shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Willie Wayne, Raider Way, was good. Ward, or the best player available. There you go, man. Or Shador Sanders, or best player available. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Daniel Barry, was good. My 2 cents was good. Raider Way, again, salute to everybody coming on in. And in fact, my 2 cents, with Gardner Minshew, man, you look at the resume, right? He's had the resume. I mean, a decent quarterback, and just this year he shit the bed completely. And I think it's a little bit, I like to call it a case of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And you may say, what does that mean? SC. What does that what does that mean? That means the case of old age, getting older. that's that's what it is. And you see it in his play. He's not playing like he's had in the past. And I did say this in the beginning. I said AOC would eventually be quarterback one, and he's quarterback one. Now this one's by default, but he was quarterback one before he got injured. So I mean, hey, my prediction was true there. Chason wants to be a Raider. I hope he continues to progress, man, because if Chason could be a good player for us on that defensive line, this was an ex-first rounder, and on top of that, then you have no scaredness or worry about bringing back Malcolm Koonce, because God forbid, right? God forbid anything happens entering next season that we get him back and stuff like that. You have Chason right there. You could rotate these two guys, so Malcolm Koonce don't gotta come back and just go full force. He could recover well, have some snaps here and there, and it'll just work out for the everybody. So I hope Chason could continue this momentum. This is his best game of his career and of the year too. And I'm not jumping the bus on him yet, but he could be a really good special player if he continues to progress in the way that he did against the Chiefs.
And you're not going to spend a whole lot of money on Chason either. You know
what I'm saying?
Again, he's a loner right now. He's on a 1 year, situation. So, to bring him in and, throw him a couple of mil, that could be an option. And, again, like I said, you do that. You bring Koonce back, you bring Chason, bring Chason in, and then you draft somebody in the draft, and now your D line is on steroids. You could, now you got rotations. There might be a situation where Koonce might be only on third down. And I'm not saying Koonce is limited to third down, but when you got guys like that, now you just putting your best pass rushers out there. And I think that's what this defensively, that's what we've done. That's why, at this point, they moved Tyree to the D tackle spot, because there was something that could work down there. And, it looks like Tyree, I'm not saying Tyree is going to be an all pro dude, but he's taking some steps, a little up, not down, So if that's going to work, and, again, Tyree's under the cheap contract. So it all works out, and we could really build out this team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%, man.
And get it done.
Mincher played scared, and the O-line didn't help. That's a fact, man. And the O-line is another positive that I hope continues to get better, man. We may have a horrible season, man, but there's so many bright spots on this team that could really, change a lot of things for us entering next season. I just hope that those things happen. But do you have somebody, you feel me? I think I know who it might be if you do have one, just because we haven't talked about it yet. I think I have a vision. But you ready, man, to talk about somebody?
You know what? I didn't write anything down, but I think I got somebody.
Let's go. Let's freehand it, man. Let's go from the top, man. Of course, my favorite segment, man. This is the segment where Twuan is gonna talk about somebody. You feel me? That. Hey, effed up pretty much, man. And I'm going to let him go in depth in what it is. But the segment we all know and love on every Wednesday. What you doing Wednesdays? Take it away, Twuan.
Hey, what you doing Wednesdays is when we talk about a specific person on the field and say, hey, you watching the TV and they just do something crazy and you be like, hey, what are you doing? And you know what? There's somebody that's very deserving, and I'm not trying to give it all the way around, give it all the way up, but there's just something I just gotta put out there and let y'all know what are you doing. And the what are you doing Wednesdays goes to the referees. What are you doing? Look, we were in a situation where we were about to go ahead and give the Kansas City Chiefs a smackdown, and you decided to not only, blow the whistle, but then you decided to say, oh, whatever the guy that came in, and we all seen it. We all see dude come in, go like this, and then give the little 70s disco, movement, and we knew that means that was a dead ball. But again, you guys decide to come together and have your little powwow. What are you doing? Look, I'm sick and tired of watching not only just the Raiders, but all through the NFL. I'm starting to see these people that wear the black and white, and they are like totally making bad calls up and down. And you know what? The other thing, let me say this. What are you doing? Okay, look, I've watched games, and you know what? Something I noticed that when does Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs ever get a bad call? I'll wait. What are you doing? Look, there's some times, in life where we know, hey, you just got a bad break. But it seems like every single game that I have watched against the Kansas City Chiefs are always the recipient of getting the good break. Okay, so you guys are not just hiding what you guys are doing in your agenda, but you guys are letting it very be known that you guys are definitely on the Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs team. Now, referees are referees that have the white and the black stripes, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know, but they also have another thing that's attached to them. You know what I'm saying? And they have a whistle, okay? That whistle is also placed in their mouth, and they blow on that whistle, okay? So what are you doing? And I need you to get your mouth off of Patrick Mahomes' whistle. You know what we trying to do. We trying to win, baby.
I was thinking a whole different player, but hey, there you go. that's one of them. And I'm gonna throw out the second player, man. And I hate to say this because this guy is one of our most consistent players in recent times, man. Missed 3 field goals, man. Daniel Carlson, what are you doing, man? Damn, man. That was tough for me to even say because Daniel Carlson is one of my favorite players on the team, man. And at the end of the day, oh man, just one of those field goals, man. One of those field goals, and this is a if and or but, and this is like a we may never know at the end of the day, which is 100% facts. We may never know, but I truly believe if we had a chance at the end to win the game, he would have made that fourth one, man. I think he would have made up for all the other 3 field goals, but we never gave him a chance. And of course, he misses 3, man, and it sucks. I'm scared, man. I know a lot of people are, and I see right there, Raider Knight, for instance, kind of says Carlson is degrading, time to drop the kicker. I wouldn't say that yet, but I hope it's not that. I've been seeing it a lot. I hope it's not. I'm trying to, you feel me, think very positive on him, but he did miss 3 field goals. We got to see if he bounces back, which I think he will, because the other games he didn't really miss. So it's just this game, everybody has a bad game, and he had a bad game. But what are you doing, Carlson, man? You're better than that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna sit there and just bash you, because at the end of the day, you're one of our most consistent players, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. I think with Daniel Carlson, the reason why I didn't go that route is because I also believe, and this is just again my Raider gospel, like you said, mm-hmm. He's been so consistent for us. You know what I'm saying? That I kind of got to let him have one game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just got to let him. Hey, look. That was that one game you messed up. Let's get back to the consistency you've been doing, because he's been that solid. Like, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I think he might, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think he might actually miss this one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these long 50-yarders, I'm like, dude, how do you do it? And he be hitting it right down the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think this was just his game, but also along with that, that's another thing that a lot of people didn't really see on TV was that weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't a dome. You know what I'm saying? And, in a dome, a strong leg might be able to kick it 65, you know what I'm saying? On his good day. You know what I'm saying? But in the weather situation, because the kicker on the other side was also missing, you know what I'm saying? He was, he didn't look too crisp himself. So I think there might have been some weather involved with especially us trying to kick 50 plus. You know what I'm saying? But our team has confidence in Daniel Carlson. I have confidence in Daniel Carlson, you know what I'm saying? And they decided to let him go out there and do what he can do, but it just happened to be that he missed those.
Yep, and shout out to Auntie Six, man, for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. So Louis says draft Cam Ward, man. I know he's a Miami fan, man, so I know he likes some Cam Ward. Shout out to Auntie Six Soldier, man. Good to see you, man. Carl says the great time to draft a new kicker. I just disagree with that, and it's the same thing like Ducky kind of said, you feel me? Like, we don't just drop him after one bad game. I hope that he continues to be good, which I know he is. It's just one bad game. But if it continues to happen every game, then we could talk about it. But right now, one bad game, man, nothing too bad. And it sucks. It's a game that we all wanted to win 100%. It couldn't have come in the worst time for him to miss that many, because I hate the Chiefs so bad and I wish we beat them. But it is what it is. And the Chiefs, again, win a game like they've won all season by a hair. Every game they played so far this season has been from a hair, a call. Literally, they've been the luckiest. People call them the
All
luckiest.
season.
Yep. If you really watch like the NFL in general and watch their games, bro, I tell you, they get and this is not even me hating. It's dead ass the worst 11-1 team or 11-2 team in the NFL, man. But hey, you never know. They could kick it up in the playoffs like they usually do. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. But that's besides the point. Of course, moving on here, we look at another bright spot, the special teams. I think that Dylan Lobby, Amir Abdullah, DJ Turner had a great job returning the football. Got to give it up for Dylan Lobby to come back and play pretty decent in the position he was. Because I always said that he may not get a shot again at running back, but he might get shot somewhere else, right? And he got a shot at special teams, and he did really good with it. I mean, had pretty much his longest return was 22, which is decent for a kick returning. Of course, DJ Turner himself had two kick returns 49 yards, and then Amir Abdullah took one to 68 yards. So the special teams themselves, the kick returners, the punt returners did really damn good. I applaud them for that, giving us good field position and stuff like that. And then on top of all of that, I think that's about it. Just the receivers continue to do their thing. Jacoby Myers almost 3 yards away from 100 yards. Brock Bowers with over 120 yards. And then on top of that, Trey Tucker had one reception, but 58 yards and a touchdown. That beautiful touchdown for 58 yards. So you feel me? Shout out to All Eyes on G. Good to see him, man. Costa is the number one best kicker in the NFL, man. That's a fact. Costa might be top 5. Yeah, top 5 for sure. But moving on here to the next, a little quick thing. And I'm gonna let Twuan touch up on this one. Max had some words. Let me switch that real quick. Max had some words for Mahomes, man. I'm gonna let you speak on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was reports because the players are mic'd up, and especially at the end of the game, they're not congratulating everybody, but they're good game, and it came out on the mic that Max Crosby pretty much told Patrick Mahomes, go for another one.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of people that you guys can let me know how you guys feel about that. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Everybody in the chat, let me know how you feel about our star saying go for another one. I don't know if that's the complete total quote, but it was pretty much go for another Super Bowl type of phrasing to Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game. What how do you feel about that, Eric?
I mean, it is what it is. People are gonna say what they want to say, and sometimes things get twisted and whatever the case may be. For me, I'm a person that just kind of just being a Raider fan for so long, you kind of just kind of push away the things that could cause something bigger, the things that could cause some bigger drama or something. And that's how I am with it. Um, you know, he said Max is gonna look good in a line uniform. Um, at the end of the day, Max Crosby, he's one of those guys that he said it himself. He's trash talks in the game, during the game, and at the end of the game, he'll pay respects to whoever. You feel me?
Mm.
I just hope that this doesn't cause a bigger scene. you know,
Yeah.
I know how people could run with it and stuff like that, and I think that's why all I said what he said. You feel me? Being sarcastic there. A lot of people are probably already ready to ship him. I seen them ship him since like the second week, but
Right.
I don't like that. Me personally, I brush it off and I try to push it away because I'm tired of always paying too much attention to the negative of things when a season's already going the way it is. That's just the type of dude I am, especially in recent time. When we have such a too intense season, it's like, why put more stuff on top of the season and
Yeah.
make things worse for us? So for me, I'm just the guy that just brushes it off, to be honest. And maybe it was just being sportsmanship, or maybe it was just twisted wrong. But I will say that I just brush it off. It's not too much for me.
And that's how I see it. I think
Mhm.
it was more of a sportsmanship type of
Yeah.
thing. Obviously the Raiders are nowhere close to the Super
Mhm.
Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, hey, go do well. You know what I'm saying? And obviously everybody's ultimate goal starting the season is to win the Super Bowl. So, I don't take it too, what I'm saying, heavy, in that sense. I think everybody, at the end of the game, what I'm saying, when the last whistle blows, they're good sportsmanship. You know what I'm saying? Hey, good health. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're doing well. You know what I'm saying? That they're all, and to be honest with you, a lot of these players, whether they're on our team or not, a lot of these players are buddies with each other, and you guys don't even know it. Like, do you guys really even know that Patrick Mahomes and, Max Crosby played football in the same state? You know what I'm saying? They were Texas boys. So, they seen each other in high school, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know what connection he may
Definitely.
have with, or what camps they were with each other, at or whatever. So, I think it was a sportsman, ship type of thing. And we know how many times, even during the game, Max Crosby is punking Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying, with extra hits and everything else. So, that's the game. You can be a mad dog, what I'm saying, during the game, but you ain't got to be like that the whole freaking, what I'm saying, your whole freaking life. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, good game, what I'm saying, hope you do well, wish you good help. Like, especially in the beginning of the game, if they run into each other, a lot of, like, if you listen to a lot of the mic ups with opposing teams, a lot of them they tell them, hey, stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they know that's how they make their money for their family and their future. So, hey, I wish good health on you, but hey, when this whistle blows, you're gonna have to get this business. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really what it was. But people may have their different views on it, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I hope, a part of me is like, I hope it wasn't said the way it is. Just because it's like, especially like a team like the Chiefs, it's like, I don't want to wish them to win at all. Like, I'm
Uh-huh.
just not that type of dude. But also, it could be sportsmanship in other people's eyes. So for me, like I said, I just been brushing it off, and it's nothing too big for me. But it kind of leads me to
Oh,
the oh, go ahead.
I know, because it just popped up in my head.
Mhm.
Even in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Like the AFC championship game, you know what I'm saying? Like leading up to, again, the Super Bowl, a
Mhm.
lot of these teams, again, they may be rivals or
Mhm.
whatever, but, at the end of the day, you'll hear players tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just use the Bengals and, Lamar or something, or I'll just use one of those AFC teams, or the Dolphins, right? The Bengals and the Dolphins, right? Even though we know that ain't gonna happen. Say the Dolphins win, right? The Bengals will tell the Dolphins, "Hey, go ahead and get that chip." You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like that. Even though you may want them to say "F you," you know what I'm saying? You suck. Like it ain't even about all that. Hey, you beat me. Hey, go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that's it happens a lot. If you really listen to some of those playoff games at the end, you'll hear they'll be hugging each other. Hey, go get it. Go get it.
Yep.
So
And yeah, I mean that's about it for that. And then moving a little bit forward here and to a different topic, and it kind of goes with what we were talking about earlier. Shout out to EJ Raider in the video. What's good, EJ? It has to do with the draft, and specifically draft the quarterback mandate from front office. So I'm gonna let you take away this one first, and then I'll go second, you feel me, and give my
yeah,
thoughts. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
there's reports that you know what I'm saying that have came out in regards to the front office
Mhm,
really putting pressure on pretty much Tom Telesco and saying,
mhm,
"Hey, go get that quarterback." Now we don't
mhm,
know where I don't know if it's a specific mandate as we need to get that quarterback in the first round, or they're just
mhm,
saying, hey, we need to go get a quarterback. But the mandate has been put out there that somewhere in this draft, whether high or wherever in the draft, we're going to get a quarterback because hey, if Tom Telesco wants to keep his job, he can't do what he did last year. And again, last year it was understandable. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Michael Penix was pretty much the only guy that was pretty much worthy of a first round pick. You know, at that point in the draft, and we weren't able to get him because of Atlanta. But the front office is really putting pressure on Tom Telesco to pull the trigger on the quarterback this year.
Yep, yep. And me, I mean, it just all depends. Like I said, if Aiden O'Connell pans out and consistent throughout the whole season, that's the best case scenario because then you'll draft a quarterback behind him that could work in the second round, third round. Then you could get your running back of the future, receiver of the future, or player of the future, a generational talent in the first round. But at the same time, also you could get the best quarterback available. It all depends. And for me, would I be mad at a mandatory draft a quarterback? No. As long as it's the 1 and 2, I'm cool with it. I think those are the only two guys worthy of the first round as of right now. Like I said, as of right now, moving forward, obviously it's gonna change during the offseason because that's when I really go fully into the film and 120% into it. So um yeah. Cam Ward preferred, but I'm cool with Sanders too. Worst case, we get Justin Fields. Uh, yeah, I feel that too, man. But of course, for me, I wouldn't be mad at a mandate. At the end of the day, we need a quarterback as of right now. But if Aiden O'Connell continues to be very good, hey, we don't got to worry about it in the first round. But eventually, you should draft a quarterback next year, no matter what. You should, and I think it's a mandatory thing for sure. Now, just to end it all off, you feel me? There's a game. There's still a long season, y'all. I mean, there's still a decent amount of games left. The season's not over. We got 5 games left for the Raiders, man, and of course, Raiders versus the Buccaneers, the 6-6 Buccaneers. They play, I believe, in Tampa Bay. Yes, in Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield over there in the Bucks, man. Uh, Talk to me about this game. Let me just give you a quick little injury report, real quick. Tyke Smith, Mike Edwards, Anthony Nelson, KJ Britt, and Tristan Wirfs, all questionable for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for the Raiders, Zamir White, Alexander Madison, and Nate Hobbs are all questionable. And DJ Turner and Jacordian Bennett have both placed on the IR. Talk to me about this game, Twan.
Hey, we're injured, they're injured, you know what I'm saying? We're
Mhm.
just gonna have to be able to capitalize on some of their, some of their issues. Cause again, Tristan Wirfs is an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, for sure.
hey, D line, you gonna have to scheme it up, get it in, you know what I'm saying, and get some tight end, some tackle in twist and get all that going because our secondary, at this point is not looking good. I'm
Mhm.
not. I don't. I I'm having heart attacks with DCAM out there and heart attacks with Darnay Orderly Holmes out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't working for me. But that's just where we are. So it's really going to have to come down to our D line and how well our D line plays defensively. Obviously their quarterback is playing well and he's able to throw the ball, saying pretty much all around the field. He's actually reclaimed his career because, I think a lot of us a couple of years back were saying that, he was on his way out. Like, he was pretty much, starting to get that washed up, tag, but he came back and reclaimed himself. So, that's going to be an interesting game because I think their wide receivers against our secondary is probably going to be their attack towards us. I think our D line versus their offensive line is probably going to be our attack against them.
Mm-hmm. And here DeCamerion struggling. Yeah, man. I mean, what do we expect? Even when I analyzed him, I said he was never known for his coverage. He was always known for his tackling ability and blitzing ability, his tackling ability specifically. And that's why I like the guy out of Pitt in the 7th round better because he was a better coverage corner than DeCamerion Richardson. And like I said, nothing surprises me from when DeCamerion Richardson continues to get burnt. Nothing surprises me because this is what he struggled in college. And I continue to say it throughout since the moment we drafted him to the moment now. It's the same thing. I can't even be mad at it because I knew that was where he lacked. But he still is top 3 in tackles every time he's been out there. So it kind of shows you what I've been saying about him. But obviously for the Bucks, obviously they're trying to get into playoff contention. They're technically in playoff contention. They're trying to be even more into playoff where they could be safe. Bucky Irving's their lead back. No more Rasheed White. Rasheed White had his beautiful season last year. Now Bucky Irving has to take over. For me, like I said, this is like I said for weeks now. I just want to see things improve. I don't care about anything else, but besides seeing this team improve, I want to see the team improve, offensive wise, especially. I want to see them to continue to progress forward. The only problem with the offense right now is the red zone efficiency. If we could clean up the red zone efficiency, this offense could go firing on all cylinders heading into next season. Now, do we need them to fire on all cylinders? I know a lot of people may say no because a lot of people are going for the tanking bullshit that I still call bullshit because at the end of the day, we're Raiders. We shouldn't be wanting to tank. We're just a bad team. We're going to lose naturally. So what's the point of rooting for the loss? There's no point. That's just making you look like a fake fan, in my opinion. And I hate to say that word because I'm all about positive and stuff like that. But stuff like that is not what the Raiders were built on. It just wasn't. And we're just a bad team. Like, we're going to naturally lose. We're just going to naturally lose because we're a team with still no identity. So, for that reason, I want the Raiders to win like I do every single week. But I just want to see improvement from the offense, improvement from the defense, and continue to improve entering into next season. And I want to see Aidan O'Connell continue to be consistent with his performances instead of just having one really good game, then 2 bad games, then a really good game. No, I want to see a good game, good game, good game, good game, good game. Christian Fessy, Twua Sanders or Ward. We kind of, said it earlier, but just to answer your question, obviously me, Ward, and then Twuan Sanders, but we both agree that they're both 1 and 2 no matter what. They're both good, really good quarterbacks. So I wouldn't be mad at either or. But of course, for me, I just want to see improvement from this team. Continue to improve on the offense, red zone efficiency, and that's about it. We're starting to play that. I believe they're the NFC South, right? The Saints and all of them. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be wrong, but I think so. That's the NFC South. Let me just make sure because I don't want to sound dumb. You feel me? Yeah, the NFC South. Yeah, we played the Falcons in the next 5 games, the Bucks in the next 5 games, and the Saints in the next 5 games. So, yeah. We could spoil some of their seasons too. And I just want to play spoiler. And I hope that we could spoil the Chargers at the end. I really hope that the Chargers need to win their last game to enter the playoffs, and the Raiders just grab and then just be like, "Hey, you ain't making it nowhere." Um, Question: why should AP stay as head coach and get a hall pass with 33%, 7 for 14? You want to go first, or
Um, I will say the reason why AP should keep his job is
Mm,
because that side of the ball ain't the reason why we're losing games.
mm,
And you can't expect a defensive coach to be an offensive guru. So I think especially with the quarterback play of past, that ain't much of a fair shot either at a head coach. For a head coach, I'll say it like that. Any head coach,
mm.
I think our team is riddled with injuries in the wrong places. And that's why we are where we are record wise. I don't think it's because I have Antonio Pierce as to why we're losing these games. Um, so that's why I think we should give him another year with a quarterback, and build out this team the way that he would like it to go. Um, and if he can't succeed, then we might have to revisit it. But we've been playing carousel too long. You know what I'm saying, with coaches. And I said this the other night on another live, but I'll say this. Um, you know, Josh McDaniels had to go, and the reason why he had to go was because he was supposed to be an offensive guru, and as a head coach, but our offense was the side of the ball that was sucking. So the thing that you're supposed to be good at, we're bad at. Oh yeah, you gotta go. And I don't think that's the case with Antonio Pierce.
um, with me, AP still has some questionable things that he does. He called the timeout against the Chiefs. I forgot what quarter, and it was like like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You need those timeouts at the end, and you've seen it. With the bad snap there, I think that could have been prevented going in shotgun there. Just because I would have rather seen something like an I formation or something where you just hand it off to the running back, where the quarterback is right behind the center. He grabs the ball. It don't need to be hiked or anything and thrown 50 feet backwards. I think we could have done that and just ran the ball because we still had a timeout there. Those are questionable calls, in my opinion, where he could have stepped in. But does that mean that I'm all for ending it and just being like, hey, AP, get the hell out of here? No, because at the end of the day, there was a lot of factors entering the season. You can't sit here and tell me that Antonio Pierce is the only reason why we've been losing. The quarterback situation, the injuries, the defense, did some defensive games where it went really bad, um, and just so on and so on. And the coach is part of the reason. I'm not saying Antonio Pierce isn't. He is questionable calls still that he still does to this day, and questionable things he says in the presser. But I will say that I want to see him with a full blown team and a full blown everything that's good for him, because it was kind of like the Josh McDaniels, right? I remember when Josh McDaniels was head coach, and I remember entering the following season. I remember that everybody was like, "Hey, let him rock. Let's see what he could do with the better team." He got better team, he still stunk it up, and that's kind of where I'm at. I think you give Antonio Pierce a team, a better team, a team where you could say, "Hey, this is a good, talented team, but the coach sucks." That's where I want it to be for me to start talking about Tony Pierce, get the hell out of here. It kind of reminds me of how the Chargers were, right? And I hate to bring up the Chargers because they just been choking a lot. But if you look at the Chargers, they had a lot of talent on that football team, but they had a coach that really sucked. Staley was dog water, dog shit. And you see what happened with the different coach. Look at them. You see with the different coach, they're a whole different beast. At the end of the day, I'm not hopping on the train over there. But like I said, all it needs is a good coach for a good team. And right now, we don't have a good team. Whether you want to say we do or not, we just don't. We got rid of Devontae Adams, which arguably people could say was our best receiver, technically speaking, on a standpoint of resumes and stuff like that. We had a lot of moving parts on the offensive line. We didn't really establish the offensive line in the offseason as far as free agency market. We got a couple guys that were good depth pieces that were ex-Pro Bowl players at a certain time, like a decade ago type stuff. So it's just different questions. And you brought in, once again, you brought in a Luke Getsy that had a lot of questions entering the season when you know you have a head coach that's a defensive-minded coach. You can't pair up a defensive-minded coach with a offensive coordinator that has a lot of questions around him. You just can't do that. And you did exactly that. So for me, I would give Antonio Pierce another shot. Now, if they fire him, would I be surprised a little? But I'll also be like, damn, what's the plan? It was the same thing when Carr got let go, right? I said, what's the plan? I mean, look, we have no fucking plan. We didn't have a plan. We never did. Jimmy Garoppolo was our plan, and you seen how that failed. And just if you get rid of Antonio Pierce, you need a plan. And I see right here, would you be okay with getting Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel if AP is let go? So you're saying if AP let go, Mike Vrabel, no. Ben Johnson, yes. That's just my opinion. But that's only if, like you said, if AP is let go some way, somehow. What do you think?
I'm actually the other way around. I think
Mike Vrabel.
I think Vrabel, because Vrabel actually has been a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Ben Johnson is a coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So you're taking a risk.
You're taking a risk, yeah.
Kind of similar to, and I like Ben Johnson. Don't think I don't like Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to what McDaniels had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? McDaniels was that good offensive coordinator, and then he became a head coach, and my issues with him was like, it seemed like he was juggling too much. You know what I'm saying? Dude, just be an offensive coordinator, or you know what I'm saying, it can be your playbook, but let someone else call out of that book. You know what I'm saying? And tell them what you want done. You know what I'm saying? I wish Mick Lombardi was able to call some plays more than what he did. So I think with Ben Johnson, you have that risk because you don't know what kind of head coach he's going to be with. Vrabel, at least you kind of have some experience of, okay, he's done this. He's, you know, as a head coach, you kind of know what you got. Every year is a little different, but again, you have a head coach that's actually been a head coach.
I won't be mad at either or. You know, that's just my preference. Just because I'm looking at it from a standpoint. I mean, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. Hey, who knows, right? But obviously we'll talk about that towards the end of the season. But I do believe that this Raiders team has the potential to be really good next season. And I said that last season, and I drank the Kool-Aid. I'll say that. But we have $100+ million cap space. We're getting people back healthy, and on top of that, we got a really good draft picks out there. So, you know, that's besides the point, but that's about it, man. Raiders, Bucks, Sunday, I believe at 10 a.m. for the West Coast, us to West Coast, 10 a.m. game, man. Got to wake up, watch the game. You feel me? But hopefully we can come out the dub, but I just want to see improvement. Besides that, man, any final thoughts, Twuan? And, you know, actually, let me say this real quick. Some fun, I want to say fun facts, but some interesting things that we could watch. Brock Bowers needs 24 more receptions to break the Raiders' single-season receptions record set by Darren Waller. Bowers needs 3 receptions to pass Sam Laporta for the most receptions by a rookie tight end in NFL history, and 22 receptions to break the NFL record by receptions by rookie Puka Nacua. So just keep in mind those things. 5 games left. Can he get 22 receptions? I think he can. And just 3 receptions in the next game to pass Sam Laporta for the most receptions by a rookie tight end. Now, Bowers needs 187 yards to surpass Amari Cooper for the most receiving yards by a Raider rookie. 187 yards. Bowers needs 193 receiving yards to break the NFL record for most receiving yards by a rookie tight end, Mike Ditka, 1,076 in 1961. So he could break a 1961 record. Daniel Carlson needs 8 made field goals to reach 200 career made field goals and become just the second kicker in NFL history to make 200+ field goals in the first 7 NFL season, joining Justin Tucker. And Carlson needs 6 points scored to reach 800 career points scored since entering the league in 2018. He would be just the 13th kicker in NFL history to reach 800+ career in the first of that 7 NFL season. And the last one, Max Crosby needs half a sack to reach 60 career sacks and become one of 3 players in Raiders history since 1982 to reach 60 career sacks with the Raiders. There you go. So quick little things there. Let's break some records.
And
Let's break some records.
A majority of those can be done this week. So definitely take a look at that. Brock Bowers might get a few of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Daniel Carlson, he might kick 2, 3, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
two field goals, you know what I'm saying? You know, Max Crosby, hey, he's gonna have to have a good game, you know what I'm saying, to get 3 sacks. You know what I'm saying? 3 sacks is hard to get, you know what I'm saying, on that ain't just something you get every game. So, you know, he's gonna have to put in some work, but it's doable.
Facts. And like I said, if you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And Twuan, let them know where they can find you, live, shorts, all those things that are coming up, man, on your channel. Man,
all of that. Raider Twuan on YouTube. TWUAN. Look, shorts, videos. I'm about to drop that Who Ate the Brown Crackers tomorrow. I didn't do it earlier because I was actually out of town and actually just got in town today for this show. So definitely you guys want to get over there at Raider Twuan and hit that subscribe button. Hey, look, for everybody that indulges in this kind of stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey, look, 5 subscribers away from 420. All right, go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get that 420 for your boy. You know what I'm saying? And if you need a Blaze one, go ahead. I ain't gonna do it, but you can go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying, for Raider Twuan and the congregation. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there.
Me, you feel me? I still handling some things, but it should be coming soon, man, where we'll go full force. And I do know for 100% fact that in the off season, I'll go full force into the draft more than I ever have on this channel. So I can't wait for that. But I'm taking it easy in the next few weeks still. You know, at the end of the day, hey, you'll probably see some collabs, man. Me and Twuan might do some collabs. So people, you feel me? You never know, coming soon and stuff like that. So obviously, and you know, one person you could count on is Twuan, not me. You feel me? Because I always say I'm gonna do collabs, I don't do it, but Twuan will do it. So we'll get that, you know, coordinated and stuff like that. Bring some people on, talk some Raiders football, man. And you know, of course, hopefully we get this dub, man. For me, SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy Eric, man, and of course on all platforms, SC Raiders Talk, just like that. Both links are down in the description below, both our Instagrams and YouTubes, man. We'll greatly appreciate all the love and support. And if you've been here the whole time, man, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. Me personally, I'll see you next week, man. Hey, this was another episode of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Home of the, you feel me? Stack them up over here. We say stack them up, hit that like button. It's over here in the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, man. And home of the congregation and the Brown Crackers, the chaplain of the nation, man. Raider Twuan in the building, man. It's another episode, man. We appreciate the love and support. We'll catch you guys next week for the both of us, man. And on that note, y'all, blessings. Tough time never last, but tell people doing you guys also tell people, man. Remember, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. And blessings to you guys and your families, man. I'm gonna catch you guys next week. We are out. Peace.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players could get the greatest coaches. The great games we played in